Hi, my name is Nick Francis. I'm the Chief Technology and Marketing Officer for Brooklyn Solutions. In order to assess policy maturity, we can use a model that's very similar to the CMMI model, or the Capability Management and Maturity Index that a lot of technology companies use. Well, there's 5 stages, and there could be 10 steps. And as per the image provided, you start with this stage 1, which is like an initial stage, and you have no concept of a policy or process documented. So for your, in this case, for the third-party risk management function, the function operates with no real direction at the highest level of what its policy or the policies it's trying to meet are there for. And the TPRM function can have its policy made up of individual policies, so it could be an overarching or a wider risk management policy and how that risk management policy relates to third parties in the supply chain, or there could be a supplier management or supplier code of conduct policy that could be brought together to reference this, and also where necessary merged with the required regulatory requirements to end up in that policy. So in short, you might not, there might not be a third-party risk management policy, but you might be able to draw on existing policies to make that as a view for TPRM, or there may be nothing entirely and you've got to write a policy, in which case you're at level 0. Once you get that policy and the basic policies and the processes designed and those elements agreed by management, and you've got sort of semblance of process that is documented and repeatable, that is where you get to this second level of managed. So from the initial one where you needed to have that desire to change and recognized either through internal or external factors that you need to have a policy, that's what you needed to get to step 2 and get to this level of managed. After that, to get out and break out of stage 2, you're going to have this desire to get better, faster and more commoditized, and understand performance better. So that's where you get into this defined stage. So at a defined stage, you want to be having repeatable performance that's achieved by KPIs. So you're going to need some metrics that inform the performance of the TPRM function, coverage, quality, etc. So you can have qualitative or quantitative measures, and you can have leading or lagging measures. So leading means that are indicators and measures of things, whether they're high scoring or low scoring, whether they're leading up to something happening or something has happened, and you have lagging measures which could be high or low scoring that indicate something has happened. And that moving more into the defined phase, that you've got to have much more granular supporting documents and templates for how your processes operate, and example checklists, etc. So that's defined stage 3. If you wanted to then get out of stage 3, you then need to have this desire to introduce external governance and oversight. So you want to be regulated to some degree by some internal body or some higher power that's going to oversee what you're needing to do. And in that case, you then get to this level 4 capability, which is quantitatively managed. So you've got not just key performance indicators, but you introduce key risk indicators. So similar to performance indicators, but they identify, rather than key performance indicators that is indicating that you're performing, these indicators that risks are potentially crystallizing, and you then establish controls against those risks crystallizing. So you've not only got things that show that are triggered when you're performing, you've now got things that are triggered when risks are crystallizing, and you manage a set of controls to ensure those things don't happen. And on top of that, you've got scheduled oversight of your policy, and that policy being delivered into the function, to the TPRM function. And like I said again, that oversight is looking at qualitative and quantitative data to ensure that the policy is being delivered through the function as envisaged in the document. So that's step, or stage 4, should I say. To get out of stage 4, which, to be honest, if you're at this stage, this is good enough for most organisations. Most organisations, unless you're a specialist in TPRM, and I mean your company is a TPRM specialist providing those services to other third parties, you're probably good in most cases with being a 3 or a 4. It's only where you need to differentiate yourself as a business, like if you are going to market as a TPRM capability, that you need to get to the next level. So to get out of level 4, you've got to have this desire and need to scale exponentially, sort of via robotics and or AI. It's just to make you faster, quicker, better, and able to service the customer more. So like I said, remember, if you're getting out of level 4 in stage 4 into stage 5, and stage 5 is called optimized, it's like world-class optimization for what that discipline or that maturity is measuring. You're going to be in the stage of high levels of automation, so that you've got automatic workflows, you've got robotic processes covering a lot of everything, and you've got the ability to sort of have machine learning that's going to give you this level of augmented and artificial intelligence that's going to give you this sort of predictive analytics, so comparative analytics and predictive analytics to sort of see what's happened in the past, applying that situation where it's noticed things that happened in the past that in the future could happen based on different contexts and different third parties. So essentially learning off of what's gone before it and then making a prediction as to where that could happen and taking steps to do so. Like I said, this 95% of organisations aren't going to get to level 5. I'd say probably 70% are going to be at 3 and below, and only probably 20% of the, or 25% of the level, the stage 4, as articulated here with quantitatively managed. And that's how you measure policy maturity in a TPRM context.